Guys, I've always told you that Fabrizio Romano has always come out and always told us that in the transfer window, anything is possible. And guess what? No one saw this coming. Mudryk, shock transfer to Arsenal. Arsenal wanted him in the January transfer window. They pushed to sign the player, and Chelsea went in to outbid Chelsea. And here we are. Chelsea are willing to sell or give Arsenal Mudryk. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we are here to bring you all what you need to know about the Arsenal news. This is the Arsenal news show. We are talking Rob Holding. Lots of teams in Spain coming in through to obviously launch a bid to sign the player. And lastly, we are having a story coming in from a player called Kai Havertz. And obviously, it's Paul Merson, a former Arsenal legend, coming out slating this man. So smash the like button close to 400 times. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I know most of you have been asking me, Rokani, where have you been today? And I've told you that obviously I've been into the mix and I'm here to bring you the news that you guys deserve. I'm gonna head to work hardly for. Remember, the first video I've gonna head to record today was all about Emily Smith-Rowe, a player that has been so much linked to a side of Chelsea. And guess what? Sammy Mikbo is one of the credible journalists that I really respect a lot. Tier 1 journalist. He has gone ahead and obviously confirmed to us that that's true, that Chelsea are considering signing Emily Smith-Rowe as an attack-minded forward into their team before the end of the summer transfer window. And what does Sammy Mikbo have to say about this transfer? He says the following, that Pochettino wants to add an attacker to his ranks before Friday's transfer deadline, and Emily Smith-Rowe is among the names the Blues have inquired about. Sources have indicated that Chelsea have shown a willingness to include players as a sweetener in any deal with Arsenal. That is it. Now, Pochettino is interested in Emily Smith-Rowe. It's confirmed and let's wait and see where this deal obviously goes, as a deal that might happen on the final day of the transfer window, because Arsenal has what Chelsea want and also Chelsea have what Arsenal want. And now he's talking about the player sweetener that Chelsea are really willing to provide to Arsenal. Who is that player sweetener? This is where we go straight into the Mudryk link up to Arsenal. And this is another big Arsenal channel, obviously fan channel, that's going to have to confirm to us that Chelsea inquired about a swap deal last week for Emily Smith-Rowe and Mudryk. The answer was no for Arsenal at the time. Now, Chelsea are willing to provide Mudryk and give him to Arsenal. Arsenal are not moved by what everything is being put up by Chelsea, that they want to do a swap deal for Mudryk. Obviously, Chelsea are doing this because they know how much Arsenal went in to chase for Mudryk in this transfer window of the winter. That is in January this year. So they are trying to use that as a bait because they believe there is a player at Arsenal that is underused by Mikel Arteta, and Pochettino sees a lot of potential in this player, and that is none other than Mudryk, and he obviously sees him as one of those players that are really pivotal into the system of play of Chelsea. I've gone ahead and explained in the previous video of how Emily Smith-Rowe is going to be a very pivotal player into that Chelsea side, and why this man called Pochettino is so much interested in him. But will Arsenal overcome this bait? Because when you look at Mudryk, Arsenal wanted him before they went in for Leandro Trossard, and they're really having an overdose of players playing in the positions of Mudryk, especially the left attacking side. of the midfield, with Gabriel Martinelli, Reece Nelson, Emily Smith-Rowe, and Leandro Trossard, 4 players competing for that position. And the question remains really huge on whether Mykhailo Mudryk will be allowed by Arsenal to sit that this really comes to pass. But it will also depend on how much Chelsea go ahead to convince Emily Smith-Rowe to come in to their side. I think if at all the player, Emily Smith-Rowe, starts to push, see to it that he wants to go ahead and join Chelsea and get enough playing time, provided Poch promises him to do the needful, then we will see this deal happen. And Arsenal might not want to sell one of their hell-end products to see that they obviously go that side. And with games coming in thick and fast, then after the international break, because of the international break, we are going to be having the Carabao Cup and the Champions League. We are going to see to it that in midweek, we'll see a team play in the Champions League, and the next midweek, Carabao Cup. After that, they play over the weekend, meaning that games are going to be coming thick and fast. With injuries threatening at Arsenal, Arteta might not be willing to obviously offload Emily Smith-Rowe because he knows that at point X, he might be needing a player known as Emily Smith-Rowe. And for Mykhailo Mudryk, there has always been a red flag ever since he came in at Chelsea, and his performances have gone ahead to leave a bitter taste in the mouths of very many football fans. And by the way, you just look at him and see to it that there is a player in him, but what is going to obviously spark off that that fire in him to thrive in the Premier League? Yet Emily Smith-Rowe is already a Premier League proven player, and I think that's why Chelsea we are really looking to sign Emily Smith-Rowe from Arsenal, because they know how Premier League proven he is and how everything has gone ahead to play in his favor. That is that is Emily Smith-Rowe. So we'll leave it at that and see whether Arsenal are going to go in for Mykhailo Mudryk. Arsenal are going to accept the deal of Mykhailo Mudryk because they wanted this player. And it looks like Pochettino is just having Mykhailo Mudryk because he's a player that costed a lot of money. And if at all I'm Chelsea, all I can do is simple. I just get down into my loan deals and obviously talk to them and see that I really loan Mykhailo Mudryk somewhere, because I don't see him getting enough playing time at Chelsea. But never say never. It's really going to be a very competitive season for Chelsea. Mykhailo Mudryk might impress the manager during the training sessions and will obviously get into the mix. Now, Kai Havertz is another player that has gone ahead to be attacked by the Arsenal legend. That is Paul Merson. He works for Sky Sports. He was at Arsenal for some time. Now, Paul Merson said, "I'm shocked where Kai Havertz is playing. I didn't see that in my weirdest dreams. I am a big fan. He's a center forward. He can score goals. He scored plenty in Germany. He can't play on the left." Now, one of the problems that people are really having is they don't know Kai Havertz. They've just seen Kai Havertz playing what we call the game of football at Chelsea. And at Chelsea, because they had a deficiency in their number 9 position, they obviously deployed him to take part into that position. But that's not his position. Him being played as a false number 9 is not his position. If you know what this man is all about, that is Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has gone ahead to thrive in very many central midfield positions. That is it. That is Kai Havertz for you. And so, for your own information, he is a player who thrives so much in the midfield. And I think him being played in the midfield is just one of those experiments that Arteta is putting up that has so far gone ahead not to be 100% successful. But I think in the training sessions, Arteta has seen it work out. Play with 2 number 8s. That is Odegaard and Declan Rice. Declan Rice and Kai Havertz into the midfield. But to me, I think with time it's going to go obviously work on well, because Declan Rice is a very good player. Kai Havertz is too, and people are really looking at him and judging him as a player who is supposed to be played as a false number 9. But I believe he can really thrive in very many midfield positions apart from the CD position. And because of him being the best Arsenal player that is going to hate to cover the hugest distance in that midfield, I think Arteta is having stats that are really defending this kind of player. Though very many Arsenal fans don't want to obviously believe in this, but the stats back this £67 million signing. So Paul Merson saying that he wants to see him being played as a number 9 to score goals. I don't see that happening at Arsenal because Jesus is back and Nketiah looks like he's in the form of his life. So we wait and see how that pans out, but I don't see him being played again and again as a player or as a center forward. So that is it coming in from Paul Merson. And we go to Rob Holding. It was Fabrizio Romano who broke this story yesterday that Spanish clubs have asked the conditions to sign Rob Holding, and discussions are ongoing with the player expected to leave Arsenal in the final days of the transfer window. It looks like Arsenal is working on to sorry about that. It looks like Arsenal is working on to move on very many players, especially players that are really fringe players, into the squad of Arsenal that Arteta believes no longer meet the standards of Arsenal. And Rob Holding is one of those that Arsenal want to move on. And as it stands, they've gone ahead to show in a lot of urge and appetite to sell off this player from the club of Arsenal, to see to it that Arsenal really gets in some huge amount of money. Now, talking about the teams into the Spanish La Liga that are interested in Rob Holding, the list has been handed in by Fabrizio Romano that Mallorca and Sevilla have both asked for the condition to sign Rob Holding this week. There are also Premier League clubs informed of the situation, with Holding still expected to leave Arsenal. Now, one of those players that expect to leave Arsenal is Rob Holding. He has failed to match the standards, and last season when Saliba was injured, he came in through and failed to do the job as required. So what has Arsenal decided? They've decided to sell the player to either a Premier League side or a La Liga side. I think his ball-playing qualities are the main reason as to why teams in the La Liga are so much interested in him, because in the La Liga, your technical abilities just mean more to the managers that side, because they know it's one of the most technically gifted player best leagues into the European market, and that's why they're looking in for Rob Holding. But wait and see how that pans out, and we're here onto the Rokani Media Football to wait and see how that goes on. Now, your thoughts on to Mudryk to Arsenal shock transfer are welcome in the comment section below. Would you obviously green light that transfer of Mudryk to Arsenal as Emily Smith-Rowe crosses from Arsenal to Chelsea? Tell me what you make about that, and what do you make about Rob Holding? Two teams in the Spanish La Liga interested in him, that is Mallorca and Sevilla. Do you think he should go that side, or he goes to teams in the Premier League that are really interested in signing him as Luton Town knocks on the door to know the price of the player? And lastly, what are your thoughts about the Arsenal legend, that is Paul Merson, slating Kai Havertz, that he's so much shocked for Mikel Arteta to play him in that position? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum. Peace out.